During the war years, what was going on the farm?
Well, obviously, you know, they kept a few sheep and a few Devon cattle. Yeah, and then in the war, Father had to plant 5 acres of potatoes. You know, because the war, under instructions of the War Act, which is now different. The War Act made farmers do this, you know, food for the country. People, you know, make sure there's food there to feed the population.
Where did they used to store the spuds?
I stored the spuds in the barn, here. Yeah. The spuds would be beside that beam. Yeah. And I think I'm almost certain the German prisoners, yeah, I know they did come. A lorry load of them picked up the potatoes. Yeah.
So where did they come from?
Exeter. Yeah.
Can you remember seeing them on the farm?
No, I can't think what age I would be. 46. Yeah, I'd be 4, wouldn't I? I'd be 3. Just a bit, yeah.
A bit too young.
A bit too young to remember. Yeah, yeah.
So how was he farming in those days? Because there wouldn't have been tractors and machinery.
No, horses. Yeah. Two-cart horses, yeah.
So 5 acres of spud, a lot of work with a horse and cart.
Yeah, he did have a tractor in the war.
So that must have been one of the first then.
Yeah. Probably. And they used to plough them out with like a single furrow plough and pull along, and the spuds would come out and they'd pick them all up. Yeah.
And that would be the German prisoners?
Yes, yeah, on what sort as the German prisoners, yeah.
And none of them tried to escape? You never found them hiding in the barn?
Oh, no, they love the British. Yeah, they didn't want war. Hitler wanted war.
And I guess they were better off here picking spuds than going back to Germany?
Oh, every time, yeah.
And tell me about the camp fields and what happened in those, because although you wouldn't remember, people would have told you, I guess.
Yeah, the older brother can remember better than me, but that little camp field at the end of the lane, there was 3 army camps in there and a searchlight.
So there were guns at these camps as well, were there?
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. And there's another searchlight at Kingston, and they would cover, because the guns and the searchlight would...
So they would work together?
Yeah. And they had there was an engine that operated that, used to be stored at Woodhouse Lane, yeah.
And can you remember any of that? I mean, 4-year-old boy, that would be quite exciting, wouldn't it?
Yeah, my older brother used to remember it a lot more because he's 3-year-old. Because he used to go up with the chaps, you know, and he'd run outside and the German plane coming or whatever, and he'd tell them all the numbers he knew so well say, you know, the numbers of what plane was, or where's the German or English or what, yeah.
Right, so he'd be plane spotting for them.
Yeah, not all the time, but you know, in and out, because he'd walk up with a milk for them, see, yeah.
So the war actually came quite close to home.
Yeah. And one night there was a German bomber hovering behind Train Cottage, and they got the gun on them, but they couldn't fire because of the cottage. So man Mitchell, that lived at the time, he said, come down here, because he used to have his milk, you know, milk it out the cow and take it back. And he said to the officers at the camp, they told him what had happened. We said, how is that? You didn't open fire. He said, we could have, Mr. Mitchell, but your house would have been in green colander. You know what I mean, what the string the green said, yeah.
Full of holes.
Full of holes. Yeah. So, yeah.
So they let that one go?
They let one go, yeah. But I think they took him down Plymouth way somewhere. Yeah.